Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Today we're going to talk about contribution soap. And yesterday I went over 15 minutes. So we're going to try to set the timer today and keep a little bit of a better handle on how long I actually gab and talk about this particular area and aspect of our life. Now, contribution is the area of our life where we do things outside of ourselves. What impact we have on the rest of the world. So I personally want to make the world a better place. So we're going to use the tool today that I call, and I mix them all together because it's known by different names, but I say it's our code of conduct. How we conduct ourselves, how we interact with the rest of the world. Our line in the sand, per se. My husband used to give my ex-husband used to give the kids the line in the sand lecture, I called it. And it's basically you're above the line and below the line behavior, what you will allow yourself to do versus what you will not allow yourself to do. So maybe your above the line behavior is you're a non-smoker, but the line is you decide you're going to smoke, and then you're smoking, and now you're in your own personal below the line behavior. I don't know if that's a great example, but it's one that popped into my mind. So code of conduct, our motto, our mantra, a slogan. Think of advertisers and brands. They have a slogan that represents in a quick, easy to remember phrase what they stand for. And we want to create the same thing for ourselves. Do you have, I guess my first question is, do you have your own slogan, motto, code of conduct? Have you thought about these things? The vast majority of people have never even heard of them. They're familiar with them because we see brands using them all the time, right? But on a personal basis, we almost never create them for ourselves. So I found one of the most powerful things we can do is identify what is our code of conduct. What do we stand for? What do we stand against? What do we believe in? What do we believe is right and wrong? And then share that and let other people know what that is, because us being an example is one of the best, easiest, fastest ways we can make a contribution to the rest of the world. So how do we apply this to the soap framework? How do we apply this to our soap so that we can install it in our subconscious and make it as easy and as automatic as breathing? Well, contribution, first thing we do is we look at the S. We look at the story we're telling ourselves. What is our current story? What is our current situation? And so I might ask myself, I'm going to grab my magnifying glass. How am I showing up in the world right now? How do I want to impact the world? Do I want to impact other people or things around me or different causes? What do I even stand for? What's important to me? Ask yourself, what is my current situation? What do I find important? And then what do I want it to be? You know, think 5 or 10 years or 20 years or your legacy. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to have, and how do you want to have impacted those you love and care about, other people, if you care to impact them at all, or the world at large? What kind of a difference do you want to make? Or do you just want to live your life and be yourself and experience it as only you uniquely can? It's up to you to decide. But where we are now, the current situation, between that and our desired situation, that creates a gap. So how are we going to fill in that gap? Well, we're going to go to the O in our soap framework, options, and we're going to think about different options. We can use what I like to do is make a list of what are the things I stand for, what are the things I stand against. Kind of like that plus or minus tool, but I have what do I stand for, what do I stand against? And I just start listing out those things. And then I'll ask myself on the options, how do I get from where I am to where I want to go? What are the possibilities? Now, one of the things I want to personally do are positively impact the world, make the world a better place. I want to leave the world better than when I found it, right? And so how am I going to do that? Because that's a huge desire, and I'm definitely not there yet, right? I've had some small impacts on the world, but nothing huge or monumental or memorable even. So how could I go about doing that? Well, one of the things that I brainstorm and I think about, and we can use any one of our tools for brainstorming or visualizing or power vision movie or imagining a friend or calling and having a conversation with a friend or just sitting quietly and meditating or hypnosis or thinking about different possibilities, because we want to be open-minded that anything is possible. And there's lots of different options. So again, I always say, come up with at least 10 and then pick at least 3 of those. Now, you don't have to do it that formally. You can do it automatically. Like when I'm doing this in one day, one sitting, I just quickly come up with ideas, or throughout the day, I'll think of different possibilities and ideas. And then when one hits me as the one to take action on, I'll immediately take action on that. So I said, create a group and then brainstorm or build on social media. Well, that's action. Team up with other people, I said, like-minded people, influencers, business owners, whoever I can think of that could reach a lot of other people, a lot of other like-minded people. So instead of trying to do everything on my own, the greatest way to influence in a positive way is to team up with like-minded people who already are talking to the people that I would like to also talk to in order to make the world a better place. So action, I said, create a group on social media and then attract like-minded people to that group. And then how do I know if it's working? Progress. How do I know if I'm making progress? Well, I'll look for comments, feedback, other ideas, teaming up with other people. Are we progressing and moving in the direction we want to go to make the world a better place, or whatever it is for you? Now, I personally do have my own motto and mantra, and I've done my code of conduct, obviously 10 times now, as we've done. This is our 10th free get up, 30+ day free get up and go challenge. I've worked this through, and even before the challenge, it's a tool. These are tools I've used on myself. You know, there's a lot of talk about personal branding and what do you stand for, and everybody needs to be a business of themselves as individuals, because you know the way the world is changing, and there's definitely no job security for anybody in any area or aspect of the world these days. Unless you own the business, there's no job security, or there's no business and work and career security. So I created one. Geez, my motto or my mantra or my slogan, whatever you call it. I think I created it in probably 2010, 2011, maybe 2011 probably. I'm thinking. So it's 10 years old. So for 10 years, I've had the same slogan and the same motto. And mine is be loving, love being, be you. Because there's just 6 words, but it says so much more to me, and I hope to other people as well. But that is my motto, my mantra, my slogan, and I've used it for at least 10 years. I got a reminder from Facebook the other day, and it had that in it from 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So I've been using it for at least 10 years now, and it still rings true to me. It still feels good to me. How do you know you have the right slogan, the right motto, the right mantra? How does it make you feel? If it feels right on good to you, then it's the right thing for you. Will it change over time? It certainly can. This definitely was not my slogan or my code of conduct or my beliefs 11 years ago, or in 2010 when I had my sudden cardiac arrest. Totally wasn't living that. Now I like to believe that I absolutely am, every day in every way, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So our action item today is to think about your code of conduct. Think about where your line in the sand is. Think of what you stand for, what you stand against. Then apply the SOAP framework to one area or aspect of how you want to make a difference in the world. Maybe it's the type of parent you want to be. Maybe it's the type of coworker you want to be. Maybe it's the type of volunteer you want to be. Maybe you want to do some volunteer work. Maybe you want to tutor or help other people or teach something or share something that you've learned and you're not doing it right now. So here's what you want to do, and then you're not doing it yet. So how are you going to get from not sharing to sharing? That's the gap you're going to fill as you use the SOAP framework. So any questions, hit me up. This is a new topic and a new category for the vast majority of people I interact with, even business owners. The vast majority of business owners I work with have never done this. They haven't done their purpose. I work with small business owners mostly, but purpose, principles, they haven't looked at those things. And actually, those are the foundational things that help us to create the difference we want to create in the world. And so we always go back and fill in the blanks and the gaps of what we're missing. Questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Bye. Go do this. It's fun.